Have you ever wondered why love is both the most beautiful and the most confusing thing in life? Why do some relationships last forever, while others fall apart even after all efforts? Surely, you've experienced the feeling when someone who has hurt you returns, and the big question at that moment is, should I give them another chance? Could this return bring hope, or will it continue to hurt you again? In this video, we will explore the reasons why they come back, the emotional impact on you, and what you can do to protect yourself, maintain self-respect, and make the right decision. Let's explore to avoid repeating mistakes in your relationships. Welcome to Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is the place where each story, each lesson about love helps you find the answers. Today, we will explore a new perspective on why do they come back after hurting you, and what you should do. These are real experiences and profound lessons that will change how you perceive love. Stay with me, as the most surprising and interesting things are still ahead. Before we begin, find a quiet place, put on your headphones, and relax your mind. Let the insights in this video help you truly experience and enjoy each meaningful moment. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's go. We've all been through emotionally intense relationships, filled with joyful, happy moments, but also times of hurt. One of the situations that often leaves people confused and in pain is when someone who has hurt you comes back into your life. This can stir up many conflicting emotions, from curiosity and confusion to the fear of being hurt again. Why do they come back? Is it a sign of genuine regret, or is it just a trick to manipulate you once again? These questions always make us reflect deeply, especially when we're standing at a crossroads between forgiveness and moving on in life without being held back by those who caused us pain. Facing those who have hurt us can be extremely difficult. The pain can last long, and when someone comes back after everything that's happened, it only increases the anxiety and doubt. We might feel deceived or even fear falling into another cycle of negative emotions. However, this is also an opportunity to explore ourselves further. When someone returns after hurting you, it not only reflects on them but also serves as a lesson about how you face difficult situations in life. How can you maintain self-respect and dignity? Is forgiveness the only way to resolve the issue, or sometimes should forgiveness be carefully considered? This article will explore why they come back and the psychological factors that could influence their actions. Moreover, we will discuss ways you can apply to protect yourself in such situations. It's not just about how to face their return, but how you see yourself and your relationships with others, ultimately making the right decisions for your own life. Every relationship has its own challenges, and facing past hurts will help you grow. By understanding more about the psychology of those who return and recognizing your own value, you will be able to make decisions based not only on emotions, but also on reason and self-respect. 1. The psychology behind returning behavior. Human relationships are not always perfect. There are times when people, for various reasons, hurt others, from cruel words to actions that can make the other person feel betrayed. However, what's interesting is that sometimes these people come back after inflicting deep wounds. Why do they do this? The motivations and psychology behind this returning behavior can be very complex and not always easy to understand. Guilt. One common reason why someone might return after hurting you is guilt. They may realize that their actions have hurt you, and that regret pushes them to want to make things right. This feeling may stem from the awareness that they have done something wrong, not just to you, but to themselves as well. Guilt can drive them to seek reconciliation, apologize, and hope that you will forgive them. However, returning out of guilt does not necessarily mean a change in behavior. Often, guilt is just a temporary motivation that makes them return for a brief moment without truly changing their actions. They may not want to live with the burden of their wrongdoings, but if there is no real change in their behavior, you will find yourself in the same situation again. Emotional needs and loneliness. Another reason why someone may return after hurting you is emotional need. Sometimes, when they are apart from you, they feel deprived and lonely. This emptiness may make them realize the importance of you in their life. In their vulnerable moments, they may come back hoping that you will continue to be an important part of their life, as you once were. However, if this return is driven by a temporary need to soothe their loneliness, it may not lead to a healthy relationship. They may not have changed the underlying reasons that caused the relationship to fall apart, and you might find yourself in a situation where you are the one maintaining the relationship while they are only seeking temporary comfort. unable to let go of the relationship. In some cases, the person who returns after hurting you may still love you or have unresolved feelings. Although they may have hurt you, deep down, they don't want to lose you. The breakup may have been a difficult decision for them, and they might come back to try to heal the relationship because they don't want to lose the connection and feelings they had with you. However, in this case, the return may not necessarily be a real change in how they treat you. Sometimes, they may only come back because they don't want to face loneliness, or because they feel that maintaining the relationship is the only way to keep stability in their lives. This kind of behavior can lead to contradictions in the relationship, where you might feel stuck in an unclear situation, not truly happy. Seeking forgiveness. Some people return not just because they feel regretful, but because they long for forgiveness. They understand they were wrong, and they hope you will forgive them so that they can continue the relationship as it was. In this case, the return may stem from a sincere motivation, but it can also create tension for both parties. Seeking forgiveness is not only an act to correct mistakes, but also a way for that person to find peace. However, forgiveness is not easy, and you do not have to accept their return if you feel they are not truly deserving or unable to change. Forgiveness is your right, and you have the full power to decide whether or not you want to welcome them back into your life. Love or habit? Sometimes, people return because they still love, but it could also just be out of habit. Love is a complex emotion, and sometimes true love might cause someone not to give up on a relationship, even if it has caused them a lot of pain. They may not want to accept that their love has changed, and that the relationship is no longer healthy. They continue to return because of the habits formed over time. However, returning out of habit may not yield positive results, because if the previous relationship lacked respect and proper care, returning will only recreate an old cycle without change. This is a difficult situation, where love and habit might make you return blindly, even though you know that the relationship no longer brings lasting happiness. In the end, returning behavior after hurting you does not always have a negative purpose. The motivations could stem from guilt, emotional need, love that hasn't been let go, or even seeking forgiveness. However, you need to be clear-headed to realize that, even though they may come back with these reasons, if they do not truly change their behavior, returning might just lead you into an endless cycle of pain. More importantly, you need to assess and understand yourself to make the best decision for your life. When facing someone's return, you must consider whether it is truly good for you and whether it helps you build a happy and healthy life. Have you ever encountered a similar situation? If so, share your story in the comments. I would love to hear your interesting experiences. And if you find this content useful, please like and share to spread the message to more people. Thank you for your support. Let's continue together. 2. Emotions and consequences when they come back. When someone returns after hurting you, it's not just a change in the relationship, but it can also profoundly affect your emotions and psychology. Your feelings can be incredibly conflicting, sometimes filled with hope, and sometimes accompanied by the fear that you'll have to experience another painful moment. These emotions, though uncomfortable, reflect an important part of self-awareness and self-protection in relationships. Damaged self-esteem. When someone hurts you and comes back, one of the common feelings you might experience is a damaged self-esteem. You may begin to question whether you deserve to be treated better. When someone returns after hurting you, you may feel belittled, as if your pain doesn't matter or isn't taken seriously. This can make you feel like you're not worthy of being fully respected. Your self-esteem may decline as you wonder whether you were wrong in deciding not to continue the relationship, or whether you are strong enough to reject their return. You might feel like you are hurting yourself by not allowing yourself to be loved and respected properly. However, it's important to remember that their return is not a measure of your value. Protecting your self-esteem is more crucial than ever. Feeling deceived. The feeling of being deceived can arise when someone comes back after hurting you. If you've been lied to or betrayed before, their return can trigger uncomfortable feelings and doubt. You may begin to question whether they have truly changed, and if they are trying to take advantage of you again. This feeling is not without reason. Sometimes, the promises of change from the one returning may just be empty words without any concrete actions. You might become skeptical and struggle to trust their words, as they've hurt you before. These doubts can make you feel insecure, anxious about the future of the relationship, and unable to fully let go of the past. feeling pulled into an emotional whirlwind. Another consequence when they return is that you may feel pulled into an emotional whirlwind. The person who hurt you may recreate the feelings of love, happiness, and closeness that you once shared in the relationship. However, this does not mean the relationship is truly healthy. This whirlwind may bring you back to feelings of love and hope, but it can also lead to pain and disappointment when you realize that their previous actions haven't changed. This feeling can be hard to face, as you will be caught between reason and emotion. While reason tells you that you shouldn't return to someone who has hurt you, emotion makes you want to go back because of what you've lost. This conflict can leave you in an emotionally unstable state, unsure of what to do to find peace within yourself. Fear of being hurt again. Another strong consequence when they return is the fear of being hurt again. If this person has deeply hurt you before, you may be very worried that it will happen again. The relationship may make you feel unsafe, and the fear of what might happen in the future will reduce your quality of life. The previous hurts may still linger, making it hard for you to feel comfortable in the current relationship. This fear can lead to stress and anxiety, making it difficult to enjoy the present moments. You may become more cautious, no longer trusting as easily as before, and always preparing for potential bad situations. This not only affects the relationship, but also impacts your mental health. Feeling out of control. Once they return after hurting you, you may feel like you've lost control over your own life. The relationship may become an external factor, no longer in your control, leaving you feeling powerless and unable to determine your future. This feeling may come with doubts about your ability to make decisions and protect yourself. If you don't know how to manage the situation and your emotions, this return could make you feel like you're the weaker party, always being affected by the other person. To cope with this situation, regaining control is crucial, not only in the relationship but also in your own life. Repetition of the negative emotional cycle. Finally, one of the scariest consequences is that the relationship can become an endless cycle of negative emotions. Their return might be a sign of a repeating cycle. They hurt you, then return, and you open your heart again, only to continue experiencing negative emotions. You may feel like you're trapped in a relationship you can't escape, where the hurt and the return only increase the pain rather than heal it. This feeling may make you feel there's no way out, and you may wonder whether this relationship can truly change. Once you recognize this cycle, finding a way to break free is crucial to protecting your mental health and seeking better opportunities in life. Thus, when someone returns after hurting you, you will face many conflicting and difficult emotions. Damaged self-esteem, feeling deceived, fear of being hurt again, and loss of control are some of the consequences you may face. However, these emotions also give you the opportunity to reassess yourself and what you truly deserve in a relationship. Remember, you have the full right to decide whether or not to return to that person and protect yourself from unnecessary harm. 3. Reasons to consider when facing their return. When someone returns after hurting you, you will face an important decision: should you give them another chance? This is not an easy question to answer, as it not only involves the emotions you're experiencing, but also a rational evaluation of the relationship and other factors. Before making any decision, you need to ask yourself some important questions and consider the factors to ensure that you are making the right decision for yourself. Evaluating their change. One of the key reasons to consider when they return is whether they have truly changed. This question is crucial because if they only return with empty promises without real action to change, the relationship might repeat the same old mistakes. Remember that words can be easily forgotten, but actions are what demonstrate their true change. You need to closely observe what they do after returning. Do they actively try to correct the mistakes of the past? Do they truly listen to and respect your feelings? Is this change sustainable or just temporary? To decide whether to return or not, you must evaluate whether they can truly create a safe and healthy environment for the relationship. Lessons from the past. When someone returns after hurting you, you are not only facing that person but also yourself and the lessons from the past. You may have learned some things from the previous relationship, you realize the values you deserve to be treated with, you understand how to identify signs of an unhealthy relationship, and you learn how to set boundaries for yourself. If you return to that person without remembering the lessons you've learned, you might easily repeat the same mistakes. You need to consider the lessons learned to ensure that you do not end up in a similar situation in the future. You may forgive someone, but that doesn't mean you have to forget what happened. Remember the important lessons to protect yourself. Evaluating your self-worth. Another reason to consider when facing their return is to reassess your self-worth. Everyone deserves to be loved and respected. When you've been hurt by someone, it's important to realize that you're not the one who has to change or sacrifice yourself to keep the relationship. You have the right to demand a healthy relationship where both sides have mutual respect and support. Before deciding to return, ask yourself whether you feel strong enough and deserving of better treatment. Take a look at yourself and reassess what you truly want in a relationship. Can this person bring you peace and happiness, or are they just an element of instability in your life? Can the relationship create lasting change? An important thing to consider is whether this relationship has the potential to create lasting change. Sometimes, people return because they feel lonely or think that the relationship can help them solve personal issues. However, if the root problems are not addressed, the relationship may never truly change and will only repeat past mistakes. The question you need to ask is, can this relationship bring lasting positive change? This depends on whether the person is truly committed to changing and improving themselves, and whether you can find sustainable change in the relationship. If you see that this relationship has potential for growth and both of you can learn and mature together, that might be a reason to consider returning. Mutual agreement and comfort in the relationship. An essential factor when facing a return is mutual agreement and comfort in the relationship. You need to feel that you are in a relationship where you can be yourself, without worrying about being judged or hurt. If they return and you feel that you're still being held back, unable to live freely and comfortably, then perhaps this relationship is no longer suitable for you. Comfort in the relationship is extremely important. You need to have space to grow and enjoy your life without feeling pressured. If you feel that this relationship only brings stress, anxiety, and insecurity, then it may be time to let go and move forward. Your freedom and happiness should be your top priority. Finally, when facing the return of someone who has hurt you, the most important thing is to prioritize your freedom and happiness. A relationship can be an important part of life, but it's not everything. You can find happiness outside of this relationship, and rejecting an unhealthy relationship doesn't mean you will never find love and peace. Ask yourself whether you can find peace and happiness in another relationship, or even in life on your own. Choosing your personal freedom and happiness may bring you a more fulfilling life, where you no longer have to live in fear and anxiety about potential future hurts. When facing the return of someone who has hurt you, you need to consider many factors before making a decision. Evaluating their change, the lessons from the past, your self-worth, the potential for lasting change in the relationship, mutual comfort, and your freedom are crucial factors you cannot overlook. Always remember that you deserve to be loved and respected, and your happiness should always be the top priority. If you are still watching until this moment, don't hesitate to comment the word continue. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that Sophia can have more motivation to create more meaningful and interesting videos. Let's continue together. 4. What you can do to protect yourself and maintain your self-respect. When faced with the return of someone who has hurt you, one of the most important things is to protect yourself and maintain your self-respect. In such situations, you must make decisions based on your emotions, reason, and self-awareness. Protecting yourself is not just about avoiding past hurt, but also about safeguarding your mental and emotional well-being. Below are some ways you can apply to protect yourself and maintain your self-respect when faced with the return of someone who has hurt you. Set clear boundaries. One of the most important ways to protect yourself is by establishing and maintaining clear boundaries in the relationship. When you have been hurt by someone, setting boundaries helps you uphold your self-esteem and protect your emotions. You need to decide what level of contact and interaction is appropriate and healthy for you. Boundaries are not only about limiting physical contact, but also about emotional and mental space. You can request respect for your time, space, and feelings. If the person returns and does not respect the boundaries you set, it is a sign that they may not truly respect you, and the relationship may not be healthy. Focus on yourself. When someone returns after hurting you, it's easy to become anxious and stressed about the relationship. However, to protect yourself and maintain your self-respect, it's important to focus on yourself and your own needs. Spend time taking care of your mental and physical health, and pursue personal interests. Focusing on yourself will help you create a safe and peaceful space, where you can see things from a more objective perspective. When you take care of yourself and become stronger, you will be better able to recognize what you truly need and want from the relationship. This helps you make a more informed decision about whether or not to return to the person. Don't let emotions dictate your decisions. One of the factors that can lead to mistakes when facing the return of someone who has hurt you is letting emotions dictate your decisions. You may feel lonely, sad, or hopeful that things will change, but remember that emotions do not always reflect the truth. These emotions can make you see the relationship in an unrealistic light. It's important to look at the relationship from a rational perspective and evaluate what has happened in the past. Ask yourself whether the person has truly changed, whether you can be happy and be yourself in this relationship. Staying clear-headed and making decisions based on reason will help you protect yourself and avoid painful mistakes. Learn to forgive but not forget. An important factor in maintaining your self-respect is learning to forgive, but not forgetting the hurt that has occurred. Forgiveness does not mean accepting the wrong actions of the other person, but it means freeing yourself from resentment and suffering. You forgive yourself so you can move forward without carrying the burdens of the past. However, forgiving does not mean you have to return to the person or accept their wrongful behavior. You can forgive them for your peace of mind, but always remember the lessons from the past so you won't face similar harm again. Forgiveness is an act of freeing yourself and allowing you to live your life without being held back by the shadows of the past. Stand firm in your decision. When faced with the return of someone who has hurt you, it's crucial to stand firm in your decision. Every decision you make will deeply impact your life, so make sure it's a decision you truly want. Don't let others or circumstances force you to change your mind if you feel unsafe or unhappy in that relationship. Always remember that you have the right to say no and don't need to explain your choice to anyone. Your decision must be based on respect and self-protection. You deserve a healthy relationship and should not endure any more harm. Seek support from loved ones and friends. When you are struggling with a decision about the relationship, don't hesitate to seek support from loved ones and friends. Those who are close to you will have an objective perspective and can help you assess the situation more clearly. They will help you recognize the strengths and weaknesses in the relationship and support you in making the right decision. They can also help you feel more confident in maintaining boundaries and protecting yourself. Sometimes, when you are unsure about your decision, the support of those around you will give you the strength and motivation to stay true to your self-respect. Create a plan for the future. Finally, when faced with the return of someone who has hurt you, always think about the future and what you want to achieve in life. Creating a plan for the future helps you have a clear vision of your goals and dreams, and prevents you from getting caught up in the past. When you have a clear plan and a definite direction, you will feel stronger and less tempted by unhealthy relationships. Your goals may include building a successful career, maintaining healthy relationships, or simply growing as a person. Focusing on important and positive things will help you maintain your self-respect and feel satisfied with yourself. Protecting yourself and maintaining your self-respect is a long and challenging process, but it is crucial when faced with the return of someone who has hurt you. Setting clear boundaries, focusing on yourself, standing firm in your decisions, and seeking support from loved ones are ways to protect your emotions and mental health. Most importantly, always remember that you deserve to be loved, respected, and live a life not held back by the past. Conclusion. When someone returns after having hurt you, it is a complex and emotional situation. Deciding whether or not to give them another chance is not easy. However, by understanding human behavior psychology, the emotions and consequences of returning, as well as carefully considering the reasons, you can make wise decisions and protect yourself. A healthy relationship always requires respect, trust, and understanding. When someone has hurt you before, their return is not just about feelings, but also about change and commitment in actions. If the person has truly changed and taken practical actions to amend, the relationship might have a chance to grow in a new direction. However, if they return without change, you need to be cautious and ensure that you don't fall into a cycle of harm. Protecting yourself and maintaining your self-respect is the most important factor when facing the return of someone who has hurt you. Setting clear boundaries, focusing on yourself, and not letting emotions dictate decisions are essential steps to protecting yourself. You need to remember that you deserve to be loved and respected and should not sacrifice those things for a relationship that may not bring long-term benefits. When facing the return of someone who has hurt you, it is important to ask yourself the right questions. Is this relationship really healthy? Can I live happily and safely in this relationship? And what do I truly deserve in this relationship? These questions will help you gain a clearer perspective and make the right decision. Ultimately, you have the right to choose happiness and freedom for yourself. No one has the right to make you live in anxiety and pain. You can absolutely build a beautiful and peaceful life, with or without the person who has hurt you. Always remember that your self-respect and happiness are the most important, and you have the right to decide the path you will take. Although facing the return of someone may be difficult, with time and self-awareness, you will learn to protect yourself and maintain a healthy and happy life. Always believe in your worth and remember that you deserve a wonderful life. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. I hope you have found valuable lessons about love and relationships. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with friends. I truly appreciate your support and will continue bringing valuable content in the next videos. Let's continue this journey of understanding love and relationships. See you again, and I wish you happiness.